Alright, welcome to Lesson 2, Order of Operations and Addition and Subtraction with Real Numbers. First we're going to talk about the order of operations, and here they are on the left. First is parentheses, so you take care of anything in parentheses first. Next is exponents, so after you get done with parentheses, you work on the exponents. 3 is multiply or divide. It does not matter which one you do first, it's whichever one comes first in the equation or the expression. And then last is addition and subtraction. And it does not matter which one we do first, it just depends on where they lie in the expression as we go left to right. And we'll talk about that more in a second. Now, the key with parentheses is, whenever you work on a parentheses, it's like you're basically starting over the entire order of operations again. So when you get inside of parentheses, it's like these steps start over. And we'll do an example and talk about that here. And this is the left to right rule. It's like when you read a book. You work left to right, and everything goes left to right. So you start with parentheses on the left, and then you move to the right. So step 1 is parentheses, and it looks like we have a set here and a set here. So we're going to start first here. Now, order of operations resets whenever we get inside the parentheses. Well, we don't have any more parentheses on the inside. We don't have any exponents in here. But we do have multiplication. And note that we're saying that x is going to equal 2. So what we're going to do is here inside the parentheses we're going to substitute in 2 for x. Then we're going to simplify. 2 times 2 is 4 plus 1. And then 4 plus 1 is 5. And this is all still in the parentheses until we get down here. And this 5 is now no longer in the parentheses. And then we're going to drop this plus sign down. Next we have x plus 3. So we're going to substitute in 2. There's no exponents in here. There's no multiplication. It's just addition. So we get 5. So let's bring that down here. It's a funky looking 5. Then our plus sign here is going to drop down. Here we have x squared. Now we don't have any more parentheses to worry about, so now we move on to the second step, which is exponents, which this is an exponent. So we're going to plug in 2 for the x. 2 squared is 4. So here. Now we look to see if we have any multiplication at this step. We don't have any multiplication. We don't have any division. All we have is subtraction. And again we're going to go left to right. So 5 plus 5 is 10. Bring down our plus 4. 10 plus 4 is 14. So our answer is 14. Now this was a very long way to go about this. You don't have to go step by step like this. You can go through things quicker as you see them. I just went step by step to have us get a good look at what's actually going on. So here are 2 examples. I want you to go ahead and pause this video, and in your group I want you to work through these examples. And when you replay the video, I will have the answers there. Okay, and here are the answers to these 2 examples. So go ahead and pause the video again and look at this with your group to see if you got the right answer. And if you didn't, confer with your group and see maybe why you did not. So go ahead and do that now. Okay, let's talk about the next topic, is your calculator. Now, your calculator sometimes can be wrong, depending on what kind of calculator you use. Not all calculators know the order of operations. So this one on the left, I want you to punch this directly in your calculator and see what you get. Now, some of your calculators should give you six. You should get 6. But, unfortunately, your calculator may not give you 6. Your calculator may give you 4. Well, which one is the right answer? So, over here, let's work it out. So, doing order of operations, it looks like we're going to do division first. So we get 10 minus 3 minus 1. 10 minus 3 is 7. 7 minus 1 is 6. Now this begs the question of why does our calculator make a mistake? So go ahead and pause the video and discuss with your group why you think that happens. Okay. The reason that it happens is because your calculator does not always understand the order of operations. Some calculators do, some calculators don't. It just depends on what kind of calculator it is and how they designed it. So that's why if you see something and it looks like your calculator might have it wrong, it might be. So always double check your calculator with what you know. Don't rely on the calculator, rely on yourself sometimes. Okay, now we're going to start to get into some properties of real numbers. And just to start off with, tell you that the identity of addition is 0, and the inverse of addition is the opposite. So remember these definitions, they'll make a little bit more sense in a second. Here are the 5 properties of addition without their formal definitions. What I want you to do now is in your group, I want you to look at each one of these properties, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and try to figure out what's going on and see if you can come up with your own explanation about what's going on, and then we will formalize them. So go ahead and pause the video and discuss now. Alright, so let's get started. The first property on that page was the closure property. It says that the sum of 2 real numbers is unique. That means that any 2 real numbers that we add together is a unique number. It's not going to be 1 and 2. It's not going to, you can't add 2 numbers together and get 2 answers, is what it's saying. So like our example right here, 1 plus 2 equals 3. You can't do 1 plus 2 and get 7. 1 plus 2 has to be 3. So that's the closure property. The second property is the commutative property. It says that the order that 2 numbers are added does not change the sum. That means that it doesn't matter if we do A plus B or B plus A, we'll get the same answer. And we see that here with this example, 1 plus 2 equals 3, 2 plus 1 also equals 3. So no matter what order we add them in, we're going to get the same answer. The third property is the associative property. This says that the way 3 numbers are grouped does not change the sum. Meaning that if we have 3 numbers and we want to put a parentheses around 2 of them, it does not matter when we add. It won't change what's going on. And we see that here. We do 1 plus 2 plus 3, we get 6. But that's the same thing as 1 plus 2 plus 3. So grouping 3 numbers with addition does not change what they equal. And the last 2 properties. Property 4 is the identity property. It says that the sum of a number and 0 is that number. So if we take A plus 0, it's going to equal A. If we take 0 plus a, it's going to equal a. Same thing as 1 plus 0 equals 1. 0 plus 1 equals 1. That's why 0 is the identity. The identity, when we talk about numbers, is something that does not change no matter what operation you do. Now the inverse. The inverse is the sum of a number and its opposite is 0. This says that if we have a plus the opposite of a, negative a, it's going to be 0. So here we have 2 plus negative 2 equals 0. 3 plus negative 3 equals 0. That's what the inverse property says. It says that if we add a number and the opposite number, we're going to get 0. And there is the end of the lesson.